everybody. We're here for another episode of Talking Travel with Wendy, and I want to welcome Sarah, my sweet friend and yogi from Waterfall Yoga LLC, and we're going to talk about yoga online today, maybe some future plans, as well as what you can find in the yoga world today. So thank you so much for joining me here, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So when did you start learning about yoga or having yoga be a part of your practice?
Yeah, so I really started practicing yoga in 2001, and then I went to yoga teacher training, 200-hour course in 2014. So I really started my LLC in 2015 and just growing it from there.
Oh, wow. So where were you stationed then? Yes, Sarah is a military spouse, just like me.
Yeah. I was stationed in Montgomery, Alabama at the time, and I had done a 200-hour training in Ashtanga-based yoga, and then quickly went into Ayurveda yoga and took another 200-hour training as an aide to a teacher who had just opened her school. And that's kind of what led me to my yoga therapy path. She was a huge inspiration for that.
Wow. Yeah, that's so super cool. And we can talk about like the benefits that you've had over the years too, and also just being a teacher and wise counselor, I would say. I met Sarah when we were stationed in Stuttgart together, and we've traveled together, done yoga together. So the benefits health-wise, mentally, and
Yeah. Well, for me, yoga really changed my life because I was a very stressed out military spouse. I had a husband who was gone for almost 4 years, constantly deployed. I was a single mom. So I had a lot of chronic pain. I had a lot of anxiety. And this ability to be with myself and be aware of what was going on in my mental and my physical body was really the answer to my prayers. And then that path through yoga really healed me, and I wanted to be able to take that and heal others as well. I mean, the benefits of yoga are endless, so I could sit here all day and keep telling you a list of benefits for sure, but that's how it helped me.
yeah. Well, I know you taught classes when you were in Germany with me, and the one thing I loved about Sarah is that she's so gentle. I've been to some yoga classes where the yoga instructors weren't so gentle.
Yeah, so especially in yoga therapy, it's really important to express that anybody can do yoga. Any body type, any amount of flexibility, any age. It's really for everybody. And so that's really where I come from in my teaching practice, is to share that with the whole world.
Awesome. So you have some specific training, though. You've got some PTSD training, and you help soldiers recover from maybe trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, share
Um,
that.
Yeah, so I'm certified as a yoga therapist, also a pain care yoga instructor. I went to school with Neil Pearson of Canada. He's a PT and yoga therapist.
Okay, cool.
And so we work specifically with people who deal with chronic pain. I'm also a certified personal trainer now through ACE program. And I'm also trained under Yoga Warriors International, which trains us to work with post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, and amputations.
Wow. Wow. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool to be able to implement the fact that anybody can do yoga. So I've worked with people who are missing limbs and wheelchairs. I work with, of course, middle-aged women who are full of stress and anxiety and trying to figure out who they are in life. I work with older populations. My oldest client is 85.
Oh, wow.
And just helping them to stay mobile and strong, and being able to do all the things that they want to do as long as they can.
Yeah. I know personally when I am being faithful with my practice that I recognize clarity of thought. I'm much more centered, and I feel like my joints are working a little bit better. I'm not having so much pain between the joints.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And it's, it's also so much more than physical movement. There's a lot of that mental that goes along with it. And
Sure.
I think a lot of what we do as yoga therapists is really mind body practices. So, when we think of yoga, I think in the Western world, we think of it as always the physical asana postures and movement of the physical body, but there's so much more to it than that, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you also have offered retreats, and I know right now we are in a season of a weirdness with the COVID, but you have had retreats and classes. Tell us about maybe a recent retreat that you were able to have before all of this craziness.
Yeah, so I've been working with a local establishment called Soothing Aesthetics. It's also where I record a lot of my online video series.
Okay.
Beautiful space. Angela, the owner, is probably the kindest soul I've ever met. She has a background in interior design, so you can imagine that her space is extremely beautiful. Just so peaceful. She is not a yoga teacher, but she loves yoga and she loves the aspect surrounding it. And she's actually studying Sanskrit. But with her space, I've been doing a couple of day retreats and then some evening retreats. So just kind of, I'm calling them self-care mini retreats where we
Okay.
come in for 4 hours. And Angela's also a massage therapist and she works with Anessa products to do facials and things like
Okay.
that. And she's very, very creative. So I let her do her little piece of whatever she wants to teach. Facials, we've done like do it yourself kind of chapstick and things
Yeah.
like that. She does that piece, and then I teach a yoga component, usually something restorative and relaxing.
I was just going to say that it sounds like a total reboot, restorative time to chill out so that you can tackle the world.
Yes, absolutely. And then we end the night with one of my other friends who I met through Angela, who does drum circles and
Oh, yeah.
shamanic journeys. And it's very cool. It's a very cool way to end because she brings her energy into it and does a lot of energy work that way. So it's really awesome, like compact experience.
Well, Karen and I and Kelly and went to Italy last year, and we went to this one spa when we were down there, and they did this mnemonic restorative room they had, and they had these gongs everywhere
Yes.
around the room, and the yogi went around and just hit the gongs. Well, when we went in there, being from the Western world, we started cracking up laughing, thinking, what the heck did we just sign up for? It's the gong show, because that's what it looked like. And we were all of us were out cold. We had drool coming out of our mouths. By the time the hour was done, we were like, what was that? It was awesome is what it was.
It is. It's an awesome experience for sure.
I definitely think that that's a really cool thing, an added benefit that people don't even know about. So
Yeah.
you love to travel. And so I wanted to tackle on how do you tackle travel and yoga?
I was actually supposed to go on spring break on a cruise. Yeah, I know. To Belize and Honduras and Mexico. And I was so excited. I needed a break so bad. And then, of course, all this happened. And it was super stressful because at the time they hadn't canceled all the cruises. So I was
Right.
having to make the decision on like, do we risk it and go or do we stay? And we were supposed to be going with another couple and they didn't want to go, and so we were going to go on our own, and then they ended up canceling everything, so it didn't really matter. But I was sad, I was prepared to like do yoga every day on my balcony over the water and just be really zen. So instead, I'm here practicing. This is my home studio in the unfinished basement of my current house, on base housing. Really, when traveling, I think the most important thing that I do is joint freeing series. uh, The joint freeing series is something I learned in yoga therapy school, and there's several different versions of it from different lineages, depending on what you're practicing. But joint freeing series is exactly that. It's moving every one of your joints and
Okay.
lubricating those joints, getting stagnant energy from, sitting or being complacent or
And you
changing.
don't need equipment for it.
No equipment. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. The thing I like about it is it goes through every joint in your body and kind of awakens everything. It's that energy moving, and I love it because you can practice it, in your seat, while you're on the airplane or on a bus. You can practice it in the morning to wake up and give your body some energy. You can practice it at night before you go to sleep and get yourself prepared for bedtime. Practice it throughout the day, really, just to get up out of your desk chair or whatever you've been doing and start moving. And I actually have a free one on YouTube if you check out my YouTube.
Okay.
And it's
And
about
give me a shout out. What's your YouTube channel's name?
Waterfall Yoga Therapy.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about that. How can people find you online and what do you have available right now?
Generally, I teach one-on-one yoga therapy. Yoga therapy is usually an individual practice in which we work together to co-create a plan for whatever pain you're feeling, whatever your issues are, and really get to the root of the problem. And so I found a way to utilize what's called telehealth now, where you do virtual yoga therapy. So we would meet as you and I are now through an
Okay.
application that we both understand and can use easily via the web, and we would do the same thing this way.
Okay.
I also am doing some online classes or courses that you can watch from home anytime, anywhere. And quite a few of those I have developed are great for right now during COVID and all of the struggles that we're having just as human society today. But I released a pelvic wellness series for men and women today, and that's educating people on the structure and the
Sure.
anatomy connection of breath to our pelvic floor. So that series is 5 classes, and it really helps teach you about that anatomy and the structure, and then includes the classes that will help you to stretch, strengthen, and relax the pelvic floor.
Oh, wow.
So helpful for those with incontinence or prolapse or erectile dysfunction, people who have hip, low back pain, pelvic pain, everything along those lines. I
That's
also
awesome.
a self-massage yoga series, which is really great, using some myofascial balls and the postures of yoga to help release muscular tension. So that's great for like cyclers and runners and people who do a lot of physical activity. I have some low back health videos, chakra energy series, Ayurveda.
So
Um,
people who like play golf who might have back issues, that would be a good one for.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I always have to mention something about my husband in these videos.
For sure. No, definitely. And then, of course, now I've done some just short ones, hour-long videos on anxiety,
Okay.
dispelling fear, which I know a lot of us have a lot of fear of the unknown. We have a class on yoga for grief and loss, which really that's what we're all going through right now, the grief of this change, this drastic change that we've had in our lives. Yoga for sleep, chair yoga for my people who can't get down on the floor and be on their knees and things like that. So
Yeah, I think you are spot on with what everyone is feeling and going through right now,
yeah,
and those are going to be perfect for everybody because whether they want to do one or all, it's going to help you with our state of mind that we're all in right now.
yeah,
And it doesn't seem to be, you know, discriminating. Everyone has anxiety from leadership to the farmer
yeah.
on what's happening in the world right now. We can only pray that it doesn't last that much longer.
Oh,
So,
no.
so share with us what's your website?
It's waterfallyoga.llc.com.
Okay, and on the web in social media, you can be found on Instagram.
Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So
Pinterest, YouTube, almost everywhere. I don't do the Twitter though. I'm not a Twitter
yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah. I don't do much tweeting myself. Yeah. Not my crowd.
No, mine either.
So, but let's talk about the positive. What are some future plans and why I'm so incredibly lucky?
Well, as you mentioned, am military. Frequent moves for us. I am used to building my business, tearing it down, and then starting it all over again somewhere else. So if COVID allows and the government continues to move on with its plans, we'll be going to Montgomery, Alabama this summer. We'll be there for a couple years, and then finally retirement, in which we'll be retiring close to Wendy. We have 20 acres of land in Newmarket, Alabama,
Yay.
which is outside of Huntsville. And that 20 acres has a waterfall on it, which is, you guys have had a lot of rain there. So
Yes.
blooming. I mean, the waterfall was so powerful this year. And future plans are to build a retreat and therapy center called Waterfall Yoga Therapy and Retreat Center out by that waterfall, so that you
Yay.
come for retreats or you can come to see me for private practices. I have a lot of teachers, people who do scrapbooking and writers retreats that want to come out there. I've even had requests to do weddings out there. So huge plans for this place, where you'd be able to view the waterfall during your practice and be able to sense some of the peace that comes from a waterfall, and the energy that it provokes. So I'm super, super excited about that. We have to build a house first, but once that's done, I have plans in place to hopefully open it by 2024.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yay. I'm so excited.
Me
I'm so excited. And I hope everybody who's watching is super jealous because you should be. Well, thank you so much for reaching out and just having a heartbeat to help people. And I am excited. I just signed up for a couple of Sarah's courses, and she didn't mention it, but she has several that are free. And right now she has an amazing coupon for half off, I think, on the courses, with a very creative code name. You'll have to see that on the website to get that. But do check it out because she is a wonderful yogi and she's a great friend too. So
Thank you, Wendy. Thanks for having me.
thanks so much for being here and for joining Talking Travel with Wendy, and we'll see y'all soon.